And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
So what can I do for America? Andrew Yang wants to make America think harder. I want Andrew Yang to be my president. So I guess I follow his lead. That is why I made this channel, Make Me Think Harder. A couple weeks ago, I was watching Should All Asian Americans Support Andrew Yang by Paget Kagey. I hope I got her name right. That video made me think, and the first thing popped into my head is not all Asian Americans are the same. Obvious. No. We don't look all the same, guys, okay? Anyway, for me to think harder, I come to realize something. I'm in an echo chamber, whether I like it or not. I agree with everything that Paget Kagey says in her video. That's why I sub to her. I agree with everything Josh says on New Progressive Voice. That's why I sub to him. I choose Josh because I thought he might be Asian guy, but I'm not sure. If you're not Asian guy, Josh, sorry. But it's for the purpose of this video. I didn't choose Dave, even though I agree with everything Dave says. Anyway, they're both good channels, Dave's channel and Josh's channel. I'll provide all the links for these guys that I talk about on my playlist. So I found a few Asian people on YouTube that disagree with the Andrew Yang in various degrees. So here are some of them. Yeah, let's go back here. These are some of the, I collected a whole bunch of clips, so here it goes.
There's never been an Asian presidential candidate. This is the first time, potential. He's got to get
in the United States
first. And who's to say that Asians aren't just as susceptible to ethnic identity politics as everyone else? Yeah. We might want to be that person who's like, I'm about ideas, but then the second that an Asian is running for president, it's like, oh my God, that's our guy.
Yeah. Well, they're basically saying that all the rise of Andrew Yang popularity from 4chan or some forum is because of identity politics. Maybe not. I don't know. For as me and for as Paget Kagey, we are supporting Andrew Yang because we believe in his policies and ideas. Now, when someone from right or wherever they are from and say you're practicing identity politics, and then there's really nothing I can say. One thing that I could assure these guys is that if there are people who's voting for Andrew Yang just because he's Asian, I'm sure there are equal amount of people, probably a lot more than equal amount people that will vote against him because he's Asian. And these guys are against Andrew Yang's point of view, and just because he's from the left, and they're the proof that they will vote against him if they were able to vote in America, because Andrew Yang is an Asian or Andrew Yang is left. I mean, to me, idea and policy has to transcend the political affiliation. If a Democrat has a great idea, follow it. If a Republican has a great idea, follow it. Idea I'm talking about is ideas that would be great for our nation, our America. So it's a race don't matter. A political affiliation shouldn't matter, right?
I think this video is going to be in defense of capitalism, or have we finally found the one big weakness of capitalism?
I don't.
So I didn't quite. At first, when I hear him say that, I thought, "What? You don't think capitalism has any flaws?" Then I realized he was saying, well, maybe he's saying that capitalism don't have any big flaws. Okay, well, so that's why I kept on watching.
I think that's a weakness. It's basically, this is going to be one of those, you go for an interview and people ask you what your greatest flaw is, and you tell them that my greatest flaw is that I work too hard. Except in this case, it's true. My takeaway from this is that what's the flaw of capitalism is that it works too well. Like, is that really a flaw?
Yes. Visual tool here. I mean, what do you call it? Anyway, here's glass. You pour water into a glass and you overfill it. Water spills over. That's flaw, man. You can argue that's not a big flaw, but anyway, let's go ahead.
It is a flaw, though, if you look at human well-being as a priority over technological development.
Exactly. Andrew Yang is proposing humanity first capitalism, and humanity first capitalism should have been practiced all along. That's no question. Capitalism is a tool. It has flaws. We need to be able to correct it.
Standard of living. There's certainly an argument to be made for human well-being being more important. And if you look at it from that perspective, then if technology advances too quickly to the point where every decade we're going to have millions of people lose their jobs, and there's no way for those people who haven't learned to code yet, there's no way for those people to adapt in an increasingly specialized and high IQ, technologically advanced society.
Well, that's the thing is, I don't think that's avoidable. We've had these technological revolutions before, many times in fact, and many people died. And I think it's naive to think that we're going to be the generation.
He's showing 4 industrial revolution over there. By the way, Andrew Yang is the only politician, barely politician, that talks about industrial revolution 4.0. The idea that it didn't work, so it won't work in the future, is very backward thinking. Capitalism and innovation go hand in hand. And what innovation means? Innovation means doing something you haven't done before. Because it failed before, you shouldn't try out new solution? What kind of a fatalist view is that? Well, I mean, I read Andrew Yang's book, and one of the things that he teaches that you should not be afraid to fail. You shouldn't be afraid to fail. Anyway, let's continue.
This time it'll be different. This time when we have that technological revolution, it's going to be different. We're not going to have people die. And I don't think that's possible. People are going to die. You're not going to stop it.
Well, not if you get into a leader.
But a consequentialist viewpoint. One of the arguments that is brought up is that young men aren't going to go down without a fight. So when 10 million truck drivers lose their job, they're not just going to be like, guess I'll die. They're going to vote for Bernie Sanders instead.
Okay, let me finish.
They're going to vote for some charismatic strongman to take the reins of government and crush the free market.
And is crush...
I don't think Bernie Sanders is proposing to crush the free market. But if you guys are really worried about Bernie Sanders, support Andrew Yang. He's capitalist. Humanity first capitalist, but he's capitalist. He's not going to crush the free market. He's offering UBI to stimulate the market, okay?
The free market going to stop the technological singularity. It's not.
But on the other hand, what happens is instead of those people dying, the productive people are going to die.
The fact of the matter
okay, let me go ahead and finish that.
Is in every technological revolution boils down to a complete clusterfuck, and everybody's going to suffer. And
okay, he said productive. If industrial 4.0 happens, revolution 4.0 happens, basically there are no productive people. It will be productive robots. It will be productive AI. Your strength will not give you advantage. Your intelligence will not give you advantage. Your strength has been taken care of by a robot. Your intelligence has been taken care of by AI. So we are equalized here in this fourth industrial revolution.
That's just how it's going to be. The issue is not about how we stop it, because I don't think it's stoppable. It's about preparing ourselves for the inevitabilities.
Andrew Yang is not about stopping the revolution. He's about embracing it and making it work for all of us. Let the robots and AI work for all of us, not just select few.
So we have a better chance of prospering than those people who are inevitably going to die.
I guess your view on this whole thing is kind of the cold realist view.
It's fatalist view. It's a view from a person who has given up. And yeah, I think listen to these guys. I think you guys ought to just vote for Andrew Yang because he's Asian, guys. I'm sorry.
I think the displacements will happen, but will they happen soon enough for people to agree to vote for him?
It says Kai Fu Lee. I'm not. He's author, I think, and I don't know. I guess he deals in AI, and he believes in what Andrew Yang believes in the Industrial Revolution 4.0. It will happen. Displacement is
the
talking about the same
unemployment
thing.
numbers are not very high yet. And I think, he and I have the same challenge. If I want to theoretically convince people this is an issue, and he wants to become the president, people have to see how can this be the case when unemployment numbers are low. So that is the challenge.
Okay, as far as the unemployment number being low, I think at least Yang Gang was well educated on that, right? The data shown is not complete. It doesn't show people who already given up looking for a job. And if you read Andrew Yang's book, there a significant portion of people in the United States are not looking for a new job, or they go back to school to get retrained. So that, and then there are people who get underpaid. So this information is incomplete, and I think Andrew Yang is doing a great job of informing the public about this fact. His concern is that Andrew Yang will not be able to win the election, but he does want to inform the public about this impending displacement. So why not go ahead and join the Andrew Yang gang and help him propagate this message out. Even if Andrew Yang loses in the election, you have done your job of propagating the message by joining with the Yang gang, and So what? I don't understand. Maybe he is doing that. I don't know. So.
Do agree with him on the displacement issue. I think the main issue is retraining. So people need to be incented, not by just giving a monthly $2,000 check or $1,000 check and do whatever they want, because they don't have the know-how to know what to retrain to go into what type of a job, and guidance is needed.
Okay, well, Andrew Yang is proposing education as well. I mean, he knows that the present retraining tools are ineffective. 0 to 15% success rate is ineffective for the retooling people to different jobs. Now, what I'm a little bit wary of is that this guy says we need give them guidance, and this coming from somebody, we know better than you guys what you guys can do. I'm Korean American. I have grown up in American education system. I know a little bit about Korean education system. From my perception of two systems, both of them have flaws and goods, con and pros. I mean, but I think Korean education system, it produces a lot of disciplined professionals. American education system produces a lot of creative professionals. I mean, I think this one does a better job than the other one in creativity, and I think this one does a better job of this one in discipline. I know for certain a lot of Koreans are really good at taking tests. Growing up in the United States, I'm horrible at taking tests. Like filling the bubble, as Andrew Yang like to say. But this idea of guiding people, that's more of to me, is an Asian idea. This idea of being independent, free thinker, and letting people, hey, you guys should know best how you can be retrained. If you were once a truck driver, you guys should know what next field you might be able to go into. If we give you time, we give you some money, and you know that ahead of time, about 5 years, 3 years, your job's gonna go away. What can you do? And what would you like to do? I think this is, to me, that it fits better for Americans personally, rather than this. Oh, you fit in this mold, so I'm going to put you in here, and that's what you should train for. I just think that I liked how Andrew Yang gives American people the confidence that they could choose better for themselves.
Unfortunately, a lot of Asian Americans are not as vocal about this. I wish that they were.
Well, I agree with him on this sense that I think Asian Americans should be more vocal. And I'm guilty of just being sideline person, not cheering on even. You know, one of the things I used to say is get involved or cheer or stay out of the way, right? So, yeah. Anyway, I think most Asian Americans are just staying out of the way, right? And I admire these guys, at least, out, exposing themselves to criticism and stuff, and speaking out. Unfortunately, I don't want, this guy's name is Jack Hing. I don't want him to represent Asian Americans because a lot of things he talks about, I just don't agree with. There are some things that I agree with, and when you're looking at opposing views, I think we have to start looking at, what do we agree with? I think I need to look for that first, and I'm trying to teach myself to do that. Remember, I have to think harder. Anyway, Jack talks about, he definitely don't like Andrew Yang's UBI, and he feels like he have deconstructed Andrew Yang's UBI. And I'm not going to go in there and talk about his deconstruction, because Josh from New Progressive Voice did excellent job of deconstructing Jack's deconstruction. So yeah, I thought Josh come from a very logical, data-driven rebuttal for Jack's very basically opinion-driven talking points. And I think this video, if you're younger, you should watch this because it's an excellent job of looking at the glimpse of what some of the Asian American might be thinking. Okay, and like I say, not all Asian Americans are the same, but I've been at where Jack was. Some of the things that he talked about, as a conservative, I used to believe those things in a matter of fact manner. But yeah, and also the people in my community, in Korean community, Christian oriented community, there are a lot of people who thinks like Jack as well. Like some of these, fortunately, Jack doesn't believe there's a white privilege. He's a staunch Trump supporter, and he's against of course, he wants the wall kind of thing. So yeah, those kind of things. But I think I want to talk about Jack a little bit more later on my video, because I could just yeah, it will take too long for me to talk about Jack. So I'm going to come back to him in later video. Let me go ahead and continue with the past. I see you, Jack.
의문이 낳는 지성과 믿음이 낳는 영성 사이에서 지금도 세례받을 때처럼 그 문지방 위에서 방황하고 있는데, 대체로 낮에는 의문하고 그 지성에 매달리고 밤에는 주로 영성에 매달리고.
Okay, this is a Korean professor. He's Korean, and he studies in AI, but he's also a very devout Christian. I'm not trying to make this into a Christian-based message. When he's talking about doubt and faith, it involved my personal story. I left the church, and about 2017, when this video came out, a deacon approached me and said, "Mr. Nam, why are you not coming back to church? You say you're taking a break from the church. It's already been 2 years. Why don't you come back?" And I told her that I just couldn't go back to church where I cannot speak freely. I feel like I was pressed to not speak about my doubt, not my doubt about Bible, my doubt about whether God exists or not. I have those doubts, and I feel like I also have a faith. I feel like when I accepted Christ, that was the faith that did it. But also I believe that faith without God has no meaning. I mean, faith is just, oh yeah, I believe that's true. He's there. I mean, 100% sure. That's not a faith. Faith has to overcome a doubt. So this professor was talking about that, and she wanted to share this video, and she gave me this video. And I think even though that's a Christian message that he was just saying, it may apply to secular people as well. I think we always need to ask ourselves, if you're 100% sure that your point of view is right, then maybe you need to do self-examine. If you're 100% sure that someone is right, maybe you need to question someone, whether that's your teacher or your leader. It's a good thing to self-examine and examine your leaders and question them when question comes up. I think that's way that's biblical, and it should be also secular as well in our democratic society. But why I include this video is the second clip. I include this gentleman into my video. So. Come on.
계단을 올라갈 때 어린아이하고 노인들하고 여자하고 청년하고 계단을 올라가면은 힘센 사람이 제일 잘 올라갑니다. 근데 엘리베이터를 타면은 엘리베이터를 타면 애나 어른이나 여자나 어때요? 똑같이
똑같이 네.
AI가 그런 거예요. AI 엘리베이터를 타면은 IQ 50이나 IQ 300이나 똑같이 가는 거예요. 그 다음부터는 체력이 아니라 우리의 지능이었듯이 이젠 지능이 아니라 영역, 어떤 감성,
네.
예술성
예.
이런 것들이 인간에게 주어진 것이고 직업도 이런 직업들이 남 도와주고 남 위로해주고
네.
소외된 사람 끌어안아주고
예.
전 교회에서 하는 일 같은 거.
네. 네.
이런 사람이 똑똑한 사람보다 존경받고 그런 사람이 얻는 직업들
예.
이것이 AI가 못하는 직업들 그는 똑똑한 사람이 아니라 마음에 착한 사람이 할 수 있는 일들
예.
이것은 평가 기준이 달라지는 거다.
Yeah, so after watching this video, when I saw NGN on Funk Bros for the first time, that was in 2017 when I watched this video, I think November 2017. I think I watched Funk Bro in 2018 sometime. That's when I started noticing NGN, and the message is very, very similar. And that we need to also change how we look at jobs. Of course, this gentleman went to more spiritual thing, but he also mentioned artisan society and serving society, where we serve each other, humanity first society. So, yeah, that's why I brought this gentleman up. Anyway, so should all Asian American support NGN? I think at least all Asian Americans should think a little harder about their society, community, politics, environment, their family, of course, that's given, family is given, community, state, country, this earth. Just think harder, whether you're from left or you're from right. Let's move forward together, like Andrew Yang says. Till next time, I'm out.